Let me throw a question at you
Come
guys.
on, throw that question.
At some point, Kyle Shanahan's got to win one of these things, right? I mean, he's been a part
of a lot of them, huh?
So the Atlanta collapse, he was the OC.
Well, you got to go back to when he was on the sideline with the Broncos. He was on the sideline with Mike Shanahan. So he's won on the sideline.
But I mean, as a coordinator, like the OC in Atlanta, then that meltdown, and then look, they should have beaten Kansas City this Super Bowl back in. I mean, they
Everybody
had that game
won't blame it on Garoppolo. I blame it on the defense.
Yeah, 6 minutes left, they had a lead.
I'm going to blame it on the defense this time too.
What was it? 4th and 8? Was it 4th and 18 to Tyreek Hill? Was
Wasp.
It that? Yeah,
the Wasp play.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like he's had some pretty good rosters. He's back in another Super Bowl. If he didn't win this one, I mean, at some point, he's got to put one of these together. And it's impressive what he's done. He's done it now that he's taken a team back to the Super Bowl.
Marv Levy didn't do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Bills went 4 straight years. They never did it.
Yeah. I mean, so he finds himself having to deal with and going against Patrick Mahomes. It is. I also think it's kind of wild that the Mr. Irrelevant is sitting at a 2-point favorite over maybe the greatest quarterback talent we've ever seen in the Super Bowl. He just went quarterback to quarterback.
Which, I don't mean to, simplify the match of the game, but, is there a bigger gap between starters than Mahomes and Purdy?
No.
I mean.
And that's why.
And by the way, here's the weird thing about saying that is somehow people take that as Brock Purdy hate.
And it's not.
It's not. It's
Patrick
you
Mahomes.
Can't have an honest
Brilliance.
conversation of we were talking about quite possibly the greatest quarterback ever in Patrick Mahomes. That's at least the track he's on right now. No one's been able to do what he's done his first 6 years playing. And so you have that versus a guy who was drafted last and he's been very good so far in what he's done. But it's fair to say that and acknowledge that. If you're picking this game based on one thing and you said, I think it's going to be a close game. The spread says it's going to be. History tells us it's going to be. What's the differentiating factor? Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that complicated, is it?
No. And
I'll tell you what, though. If Brock Purdy wins this game, his clout meter goes into the red.
Oh, yeah.
It goes all the way. It'll overheat. His clout meter moves so quick.
A lot of people eating their words. A lot of people.
The Brock Purdy hate and criticism, I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know why everybody there's a large portion of people that cover the NFL that just can't say, hey, you know what? We were wrong about Brock Purdy. That guy's a really good quarterback. He's got his team in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They've got to hold on to the original take they had, which is they're never going to go anywhere with Brock Purdy, yet here they are, a favorite in the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy as their quarterback. It's just
the other thing is they keep waiting for that moment where he has a bad game to go, I
but there
told
it
you
is.
so.
There it is.
Or that half, that throw. It's well, okay, everyone's going to be entitled to playing bad football at some point. He's going to come back around to playing good football again, too. It's just it is odd that people keep harboring or hanging on to these takes about what he is or what he isn't.
I mean, it's a great story, too.
That's the odd thing is, we usually love stories like this. I guess not when it comes to guy looks like Brock Purdy, I guess.
Yeah.
I
just think it's going to come down to Brock Purdy's ability to be able to play at a high level because I think they're going to be able to run the ball against San Fran. No, they're going to be able to run the ball against San Fran. Yeah.
They've been getting a lot of yards in the playoffs.
I'm continuing to say it, and I'm going to continue to harp on it, that the defensive front for San Fran has been somewhat of a liability for this team. And so if they're able to run that ball, if Kansas City's able to run that ball against San Fran successfully, that's going to cause a lot of problems. That's going to cause a ton of problems for this San Francisco team. And you're going to have your offense up to the challenge of if this defense isn't able to stop the run. Because if they can't stop the run, they're going to have to load up to stop the run.
But what were you making in your notes, Brady, that Nick Bosa's putting the officials on blast?
Oh,
let them know?
I mean, he knows. He's a defensive player. Let me ask you this.
Held every play.
Well, when you have a press conference, though, and someone asks you, what do you think about the Kansas City tackles?
Yeah.
And you go, they hold all the time?
Yeah.
Or they hold a lot? you're basically sending out a message to the officials.
Like that they hold.
Yeah. Look for this because they're going to hold me.
And he's been the only one that's given this defensive front life. Like, he came to the party last game, and I think he got 2 in the game, got 2 out of it. I mean,
he would have been MVP of the Super Bowl had they won that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
against the Chiefs.
He was balling in that game. He's going to have to bring his best stuff because they ain't getting it from the other side, and they have not been getting it interiorly. And so Nick Bosa is going to have to be – he's going to have to be a guy. But Brock Purdy and this offense, they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to do it.
That's what I'm most interested to watch in this game is both offensive lines.
Yeah.
Because you got Bosa and obviously the issue, and wherever you line them up on the edges – the tackles have struggled for Kansas City this year when they've given up pressure. It's been off the edge. And then if you look at San Francisco, the right side of the offensive line is the side that, like, Trent Williams is a brick wall.
Yeah.
And Banks, when you go to the right side, though, then you start to see some more of those weaknesses.
How old is Trent Williams again?
Is he 34, 35?
I don't know. He's been in for a while, though. He had an entire career in Washington before he left.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah.
I'll say this as well as in terms of schematics from Kansas City. Spags is going to stress that offensive line out. He's going to stress them out. He's going to bring blitzes from different places. He's going to mix up coverages where you're looking at coverages maybe not versus looking at how they're going to blitz the line. And I think San Fran's going to have their hands full, man. I really do. I think it's going to –
Then why are they favorited? That's what is hard to understand.
I don't know.
Because so many people feel how you do. I don't know that, like, the Kansas City's going to walk away with it.
I don't think they're going to walk away.
Because the odd thing is, like, if you look at both defenses, which is the better defense?
On paper, you should say the 49ers.
But that's not how it's played this year.
No.
KC has been awesome this year on defense.
Yeah. Yes. And they're going to be awesome in this game.
And also, if you believe in momentum, and we made the point last week, the Niners haven't played a clean game since Week 17 at Washington. That was
the Commandos.
That was 2023. Like,
that's another factor to take into consideration, though, that this has been a team that really has struggled through to be able to win. I mean, they've all been comeback victories in the playoffs, and not just comeback victories, but comeback victories where you're like, wait, Green Bay's going to win.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at it like, wait, Detroit's about to blow them out. Like, you know, and maybe for me personally, I don't want to speak for everyone, maybe that's the mark of giving your just due and your props to a team that actually can win against all odds versus I'm looking at them like, man, y'all skated through some way, somehow. You survived Green Bay. Then you really had to survive Detroit. So what would make me think if you had to survive against a young quarterback, and then you had to survive against a strong, a productive quarterback, but I don't think he's an elite quarterback. So if he's a fine, sturdy quarterback that you have that you're struggling against, and now you're about to go up against Patrick Mahomes, that just, to me, the mathematics of that doesn't, like, Jordan Love couldn't put the dagger in him. Jared Goff couldn't put the dagger in him. But if you don't think that guy from KC isn't going – he's going to put the dagger in, take it out, and put it back in again. You know, I don't know.
It feels like one of those somebody knows something.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
sense.
Someone
knows something.
Yeah.
Listen, by the time the Super Bowl gets here,
it's live bet.
I think points,
I don't know. Listen, not really. Also, I want to give a shout out here. Trent Williams, I see he's on the list, the 90 greatest Washington Commanders. Some other notable names on that list.
Hey.
Terry Allen.
Yeah.
Champ Bailey. I think we're done with the A's.
Damn.
What a champ.
Allen, Bailey.
Well, Bailey is a B.
Cliff Battles.
Those are B's.
Jeff Bostic.
He's being such a jerk.
Got to go all the way down.
Why does he do this?
I don't know.
All the way down, all the way down. I'm trying to get there. Joe Bugle, all the way down, all the way to Richie Pettibone.
Top 90 Commandos.
Dexter Manley.
He gone.
Oh, LaVar Arrington's on there as well too. How about that? Yeah.
Wait,
Hell yeah.
Wait, I thought you were done with the A's.
Hell